I'm Jenna.
Hello, I'm Gloria.
We are Worthy Wellness.
Because we are worth it.
Our purpose is to introduce women entrepreneurs, products, and services while proceeds help women in need for holistic care and therapy services.
Welcome, ladies.
Hello, hello. So we have a special guest today, and her name is Jennifer Meade, and she has been in the beauty industry for 35 years. She's also experienced domestic violence throughout her life, and she has an incredible story to share. If you want to reach her directly, her phone number is 949-500-7776. And at the end, we'll also give you her details on how to contact her. So, Jennifer, for this little icebreaker question to get this going, and it's the time in the season of spring clean, what tip do you have for our listeners?
Hi, Jenna. Hi, everybody. Jennifer here. So my spring cleaning tip is hire a gardener. Work really hard, make lots of money, and hire help. Just to be perfectly honest with you, I like to see things outside nice and clean. And recently I hired a gardener to come in and pull all the weeds and make all the flowers look pretty. And then I brought in a friend to help me power wash the house and get everything cleaned up. And from there, it just kind of feels like a trickle down effect. Then you want to start tearing into your house and, getting rid of bags of clothes and, I think once you start to see, for me, I'm like outside. If I see the outside pretty, I want to go on the inside. So, other people are different. They want to go from the inside out, but that kind of leads to a little bit of my stories.
Okay.
And so yeah, that's actually a good deal icebreaker. Yeah.
Yes, and I love how honest you are because we have our own specialties and a gardener that is theirs, that landscaping and outdoors, most definitely. I'll keep that in mind. Well, I'm super excited for you to introduce your services because me personally, she has done my beauty for my wedding day, which is the special day of all time, and making sure you pick the right professional. So I'm super grateful and thank you so much for having this interview today and for others to discover you as well. So the first question I wanted to ask you, Jennifer, is how did you make that shift on being an entrepreneur? And, how long has it been, the full 35? Or, when did that transition occur?
So, I have been in the salon industry since I was 15 and I'm approaching 50. I started with a summer job and my parents, I didn't come from a lot. And my parents were divorced when I was 3. And I realized very quickly that there wasn't going to be college money. There wasn't really, my parents were off on their own journeys. And my 2 older brothers had a hand in raising me. And I think I quickly realized at a young age that I was going to have to find something. And I didn't know what it was. I worked in a laundromat for a little while. I worked at McDonald's for a little while, and I just felt at a young age, I think this is like age 13, 14, like, what am I going to do with my life? And, it's kind of a young age to be thinking that way, but I think that there's a lot of people out there like me because they realize their families aren't going to be providing for them the way a lot of other families are able to. And so I was so lucky to have gotten a salon job at 15 during the summer. And there was the owner of a salon, and my dad's girlfriend at the time knew the guy, and this was her hairdresser. And so, he needed help over the summer. And so he would come pick me up and I would go and be the receptionist at his salon for the day. And then when he was done, he would drive me home and drop me off. And I just remember very quickly within the first probably 4 weeks, I knew I had found what I wanted to do,
Amazing.
like forever. I was like, this is incredible. I mean, these people were like, I almost felt like celebrities in a way. They just came in with a walk and a talk, and they were happy, and they were artistic, and they were confident, and they made their own schedules, and they loved what they did, and their customers loved them. And I was just mystified by how magical the whole thing was. And then I would see them, give hugs at the end, and it was just such a feel good vibe. And then you got great music flowing, and if somebody wants a libation, they could have one. If somebody is crying, we're there to soak up the tears. If somebody was celebrating a wedding like your day, it's like you're involved with people in such an intimate level. And it certainly beat out handing them a cheeseburger across the counter type of thing. So
Yeah, they do say that about hairdressers, that it's the most personal because it's hands-on. Like you're physically touching your head. You have such a long duration with the client that it's almost like you become your client's therapist in a way. You hear lots of stories, I imagine.
Yeah, the thing is, you have to pull out of people what is the most important thing, to you. They come in with lots of ideas, and everybody's excited, and they're all over the map, and they got this and they want that, and da da da. And there's a lot of facets that you have to look at. Is how long do you want it to last? What is your budget? How often do you want to be in the salon? I mean, I like you, but do you want to see me every 3 weeks? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of factors involved, and sometimes those come into play, and they're personal, because it could be a husband who doesn't want to help pay, or finances are tight, or a kid is going to school, or they're cutting back further, something else, or they maybe they are doing well and they want to come in and spend some more money and get those long extensions done, or they need a makeup session, or also I am a permanent makeup artist as well. So I've gotten into, in the last 5 years, I've gotten into microblading and eyeliner tattooing, and actually taking tattoos off people's faces that were other people's old work. And so, it's just it depends on what they're looking for, but there's just a really personal aspect that you have to get into people's lives and into the core of what they're really looking for. If you're going to deliver the right product for them, you've got to know about the inside of what's going on inside of them. Because it's just all over the place a lot of times. So then we're like, okay, do you want this to be temporary? Do you want this to be, how long do you want this to last? Do you want to do this again? Are you going to just go dye it black, and we're going to take you platinum? Are you going to dye it black in 2 months? There's so many factors. And so you get to know a lot about people very quickly, and you have to kind of get past the shyness quickly in order to get your job done, and also in a timely manner, because there are more people coming in behind them in the day.
Yeah.
So it's like a fast, polite way to get to the root of what's going on.
Yes, most definitely. And it's like beauty is from the inside out, or maybe for you, it's like the outside in. Everyone has that different perspective, and it's very personal. And, so to reiterate, Jennifer does semi-permanent makeup and she does hair, but it's not just hair with cut and color. She does extensions as well. So for all of that, is there anything that you wanted to share along your journey as an entrepreneur? I know you mentioned, at a young age, you were able to discover what you wanted to do as your career in a lifetime. But there's also, you're talking of people getting their beauty done, but for you, it has probably shaped your character of who you are today, and the traits as an entrepreneur. Would you like to share anything along that journey?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm still on that journey. 35 years into it, and I can tell you I'm digging deeper now than I ever have in my whole life. I've been winging it on some talent and a deep love for my industry, but I do think that there's a a very human experience about being in the beauty industry that I'm really coming to full terms with now, that do go along the lines with the domestic violence. And I've had to, I heard somebody say at a seminar once that money doesn't walk in the door, people do. And it really resonated with me because it's so true. And, sometimes you can get, after this many years, you can get like, okay, you want your highlights. Let's just get your highlights done and get you in and get you out. And that's not always the experience that the person wants to have. And so you have to remember that there is a person, there's a human being in your chair, and you're two humans having two human experiences. And I've, with COVID and everything, I was already becoming a tired hairdresser, and then we, out of nowhere, we get hit with this thing, and then I'm like, gosh, I'm tired in this industry as it is. I'm like, what am I, 33 years in at this point? It was 3 years ago. And I literally had to have a conversation with myself about, whether or not I'm going to dig in to the depths of my being and pull this out of me and figure out how to get this done and continue to work and continue to make people happy and shine through one of the worst things the world's ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And that just doesn't come without work. And so through this, I have the silver lining in this catastrophe that the world has experienced is that it has made me look inside of myself and my wounds and the things I experienced domestically with my growing up as a child, with my father being pretty much, I would categorize him as an alcoholic growing up, and my mother being a people pleaser, and him cheating on her, and their divorce happening at 3, and then I had a brother who passed away when I was 12. And that was a long, dramatic experience of a week-long episode in the hospital from a motorcycle accident, and just all these things that have come up. And why I'm bringing them up to you now is because healing those traumas and healing those wounds has actually made me a better hairdresser. It's actually made me a better permanent makeup artist. And it's actually made me a better friend. It's made me a better, hopefully, daughter, sister, cousin, neighbor, you name it. It just should what I'm hoping and praying for is that, the classes and the resources that I've been experiencing through these last several years are advancing me towards, making that human experience better. The money is a byproduct. The money it's good money. It's great money when you're making it. If you're not working, you're not making money. So you got to have a great also setup for savings plans for yourself for later on and all those things. But just to round it out by saying, money doesn't walk in the door, people do. That's just never been more, it's never been more relevant or more important than it has in the last 3 years, because we're all having such a human experience. And it's bringing everybody into my chair, because pandemic or no pandemic, honey, they're getting their highlights. They're getting their stuff done, because people just, and when you go reiterate back into, from the outside in, or the cleaning from the inside out, or the outside in, either way, you got to clean. You got to do both. It's what order do you want to do it in? And sometimes people don't feel good on the inside. And if they can feel good on the outside, it can help them mend on the inside. So it's like, why would you go get your hair done and your makeup done when you're really just a mess inside and you got all these issues and you don't, because sometimes people need that in order to proceed to the next thing that they need to do, because they feel like they can conquer, they feel like they can attack the thing that they need to attack it with inside themselves. They can feel better about whatever it is, getting to the gym or talking to a coworker or addressing their mother or attending a funeral. There's so many reasons why people need or want to look good, on the outside. It does really help on the inside. So, but yeah, the classes I've been taking and bringing up some of the childhood wounds has been really, I want to say, just a game-changing thing for me, and has been able for me to take in more from my client and notice where my triggers are. And we do have them behind the chair. When we're behind that chair, we're absorbing a lot. And so I've been able to identify my triggers, and I've been able to go back and journal about them. And, instead of getting upset with a client or something, I can be able to go say, hey, okay, so this thing happened. She said this, or he said that. And I can go back and I can locate the place and the time where that original wound was created. And I can journal about it, or I could talk to my therapist about it, and continue to heal that wound, and have it be based less on the individual that's in my chair and more about the root of what's going on inside of me. And it's just creating this beautiful arena for us to work in now. It's just opened up because you get tired. It gets repetitive, and you want something new. And sometimes it's not always changing your job or changing the people you're working on, but it's changing you. Sometimes you're the thing that needs to change, that you're experiencing frustration and lack of interest in your own self because you're being repetitive. So I think as far as an entrepreneur, or working for myself, I think that would be one of the coolest reasons, is that you get to go on your own time, at your own pace. There's nobody pushing on you, staring at you, doing, punching time cards. I'm an artist, and I need that creative space to grow. And unfortunately, it did take 35 years to get to this point, but hey, better late than never.
It's amazing to hear your journey, because you're speaking of the highlights as an entrepreneur. I think it's amazing that you have growth, and you're speaking of your personal journey and how it's made you a better person, a better artist, a better beautician, and to be able to offer that to others. It's a very holistic approach, I'd say, and it's therapeutic in itself, and you hear that lots of times. So thank you for sharing, and I'm sorry to hear about your brother, and I'm glad to hear that you spoke about some healing remedies that people could maybe implement themselves, with journaling, knowing their triggers and identifying it, because it's really hard to heal if you can't identify. So thank you for sharing that. So Jennifer, if anyone has questions about, the services that you do in the beauty industry, are they able to reach out to you, and you could kind of guide that process and offer that kind of
Yes,
mentorship?
absolutely. So having 35 years in the industry and working from the receptionist desk to behind the chair to accounts payable, receivable, color monitor, hair sweeper, foil tearer, from every single aspect from the bottom to the top. I'm involved in, and with that being said, if there's anybody, it doesn't matter how young, how old you are, if you have questions concerning anything in the beauty industry, from hairdressing, cutting, coloring, extension work to the permanent makeup, the microblading, the eyeliner, the lips, the all those things involved. I'm definitely open to answering any questions that anyone has, whether they're in the industry or thinking about getting in the industry or thinking about getting out of the industry, but maybe they want to add a service, because sometimes just adding something new to your services kind of can reignite your love and your passion for you get excited again. So definitely here for questioning and coaching. Young and old. I do have a special passion for the young girls who just feel misguided in life and don't know what to do with their life. I'm always excited to introduce them to the beauty industry. They can literally just come hang out for a day and experience what it's like to walk through the day in a life as a hairdresser, and just see if it's something that they're interested in.
Oh, that's amazing. You make me want to go shadow you. So speaking of that, if they're going to reach out or they, come to you in person, what areas are you located at?
Okay, so I have 4 locations. I service the Inland Empire as well as Orange County. Orange County, Newport Beach, Huntington Beach. Those are my main areas that I like to work in. I'm also a freelance hairdresser, so I do on location. I do set work. I've done commercials. I've done runway shows. I've done prints for magazine. I have a Facebook page called Jennifer Meade, Meade hair, and I have another page called Jennifer Meade. Again, it's Meade. On set, which has a lot of my work that I've worked with different celebrities and different models, and I have accumulated a lot of work. And I also service the Inland Empire. So I'm in Upland. It's a small town called Upland. It's just at the base of Mount Baldy. And I have a 25-year following of clients in the Upland area, and I cherish them. They're like family, and I go back every Tuesday, and I work there, and I just get recentered and go back home, and then I come back out here to the beach, and I continue to pick up new people all the time, and I'm always open to new clients, and I'm just grateful to be excited about being 35 years in the industry and still excited about it. And the best way to contact me really is through my phone number, which is 949-500-7776. If you want to go to Instagram, you're looking for me as a hairdresser, you would look for at Jennifer Meade, Meade _hair. If you're looking for microblading or permanent makeup, you would look at micro_blade, BLADE _babe, BABE. And we can have all this on my contact information when they look at the podcast as well. Also, Googling Jennifer Meade is very easy way to look at all the different things that are available. And as far as the things that I specialize in, I've been working for a company called Great Lengths for 21 years, and that's the extension company that I use. They are by far the best I have found. It doesn't matter your ethnicity. It doesn't matter your length of hair, the possibilities are endless. The colors, the shades, the hues, the curl, the straight, and I just love how they're individually placed all over the head. I have a ton of extension work on my Instagram. But basically, if you're interested in contacting me, just use the phone number and I'll give you what you're looking for. And then as far as, I was trained by Vidal Sassoon with my hair cutting. So I'm a precision hairstylist, and then, or hair cutter, I should say. And then as far as coloring goes, I was trained at Carlton Hair International, if anyone knows what that is, back in the day. And, with Schwarzkopf and Davenus and Kevin Murphy and all the hot color lines that are out there. I'm at the classes anytime there's anything new to be learned about. That is, I'm there and I'm learning. I'm taking courses all the time, not only about the internal side of me, but the external, the part of hairdressing that we need to stay up to task on all the new stuff that's coming out. We need to be like, okay, what's ombre, what's balayage, what's this, what's that, so all those things that people are coming in with their Pinterest and their Instagram, I have to be able to know how to do that. So I'm always staying up to date on the current trends. There really isn't anything that I can't do, and if I can't do it, I know someone who can and will source it out. Because that's also part of being an entrepreneur, is knowing your limitations as well. So, and then as far as, the tattooing goes, I added this 5 years ago, and I'm really excited about it. It's still artistic. It's still in the beauty industry. And it's a problem that a lot of women have, is eyebrows. And so I tend to wash them off a lot in the shampoo bowl. And so that's always a conversation starter. And these are like life-proof brows, life-proof eyeliner. You can sweat, you can swim, you can, go on vacation and not worry about your eyeliner or your eyebrows or how you look in pictures. And it's on there to stay. And, after all the years of doing makeup professionally, I just thought, of course, this goes hand in hand. I can do this permanently, so that you don't go home and it all washes down the drain. Your money just literally washed down the drain. I can make that money last for you, and I can make that makeup last for you too. So I'm really excited about this podcast, and I just want you to know, Jenna, that I appreciate all your effort and everything you've done to put this together. For women like me, who sometimes we can feel invisible sometimes. And after 35 years, it's like, who cares, but actually you do. And I just appreciate that so much about you. And I love our friendship. And I just thank you so much for the interview. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. That was amazing. So definitely reach out to Jennifer Meade, and I absolutely love the work that she does, and I definitely go to her. So, happy listening to this and reaching out. So thank you again for this interview, Jennifer.
You're welcome, honey.
Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
If you're also a woman entrepreneur to support our cause and would like to be considered on this podcast, please reach out to us. We would love to connect. We see you. We want to connect, empower, and inspire others. So please call or text or even fax 949-793-8781. Or our Instagram is Worthy Wellness Inc., like INC. Hope to hear from you, and thank you for listening.